beautiful afternoon here in Houston, and my buddy just dropped off this 1982 Mercedes W123. It's a 300 diesel turbo, and it's a car he picked up at Cars and Bids very recently. Interestingly, the car was actually featured on Doug Demuro's channel not too long ago, and while this car does have some interesting quirks and features, it's also in need of some serious TLC. We're definitely going to need to polish up the paint, the chrome, there's overspray everywhere. I see sanding marks all over the hood. The paint is actually quite dull in most places, especially the roof and the trunk. And while the interior is actually in pretty good shape, it's definitely funky in there. The goal of this video is to show you some of the challenges in detailing a vehicle of this age and condition. We'll start with a good wash, and I always like to begin with the wheels. These wheels don't really have any brake dust, but this Adams wheel cleaner will still work very well. And I'm also going to use Vonix Delete on the tires. You can see the dirt just coming right up as it starts to soak in. I'm going to scrub the wheels first with this brush and then scrub the tires. I do rinse the brush between wheels. When it rolled off the line, this car's 5-cylinder turbo diesel engine packed a whopping 125 horsepower. Do wonder how many of those are left today. It's not actually too dirty in here, but I'll use this Vonix Impact Degreaser diluted down to a 1:10 ratio. I do want to cover the engine really well and let it soak. The goal here is to avoid heavy scrubbing because this engine is old. Some components like the vacuum lines look pretty new, but other things could be fragile, so we want to be careful. Do continue to spray the degreaser to keep the surfaces wet. To break up the grime on the most visible areas, I'm just going to use the same tire brush I used earlier. I like this brush. I did cover the battery and a few of the other electrical bits, and now I'm using the pressure washer from a safe distance to rinse everything down. Engine bays are not really sealed compartments. Water does get in here, but you want to be careful and not get too close and start breaking things or putting water through grommets and things where it shouldn't go. We can definitely see a lot of grime has come off, and I'll scrub this a bit more in the garage to get it a little cleaner. I've been using this Code Chemi Gentle Snow Form for a while now. I'm really loving it for my daily driven cars, and I'm just buying this stuff in bulk now. I'm also going to hit some trouble areas with an all-purpose cleaner to help clean them up. For example, I'm cleaning this grille with the APC and a small brush applicator. Now this car doesn't have a ton of complex surfaces, so it's actually a super quick wash. And as a drying aid, I'm just using Adams Detail Spray. I find it works really well. I have to say the car's looking better with just a good wash. So I can definitely tell this car has been painted several times. Overall, the single stage paint is in pretty rough condition. You can see some of the blending was done poorly around the gas cap and several other areas where the older color is showing through. I know it looks like oxidation, but if you were to polish aggressively here, all that darker blue will come off. And under the door handle, you can see here where they had things taped up and they completely missed this spot. I guess it was a case of taping and spraying and praying. When it comes to polishing, this car's definitely going to be a little bit of a challenge. As we pulled the trim up, we found quite a bit of missing paint and rust. I'm going to take care of this by using a Dremel with a wire wheel. The idea here is to expose some bare metal. We did order some single-stage touch-up paint. It was just a color code match, so there's no way this is going to match. It's going to be like the 3rd or 4th shade of paint on this car. Not a big deal because we're going to cover this up with the trim. We just need it not to rust. The bumpers are still looking gross after the wash. I really should have worked more on them outside. I'm using the Vonix Delete again, and you can see just how much black crud is coming off the bumper. I'm definitely going to have to mop the floors after this is done. The bumper's looking way better. The rubber is really smooth, looks almost new, and it doesn't stain your hand anymore when you touch it. Most of the chrome is pretty hazy, especially bad where the license plate used to be. I'm going to use some P21S polishing soap and 4/0 steel wool to clean up the surface. I did pre-wet the steel wool. You can use water or detail spray, it doesn't really matter. This is going to take some serious elbow grease, but the results will speak for themselves. It's really brightened up the chrome, and I'm following it up with a foam pad with more of the P21S polishing soap for just a little bit of a finer finish. I think it looks so much better. For the Hazy grill, we're going to follow the same protocol, and it's going to look fantastic when we're done. I really think my friend's going to be very happy when he comes to pick up the car. I think just the pop of the chrome alone is going to be a big improvement. When you've got a car with such a basic body shape, all that chrome really does add something to the car. It's time to start polishing the paint, and my friend did tell me the prior owner had it repainted at some point, or at least parts of it repainted. It looks pretty terrible, to be quite honest. There are sanding marks everywhere that I'm not sure will come through on video. The orange peel's quite bad. Honestly, video does hide a multitude of sins. It can be difficult to show you just how bad things are, but I'll be covering it in detail spray and using a synthetic clay pad to decontaminate the surface. I'm going to start with a Lake Country CCS light cutting foam pad and some Fine Lab A50 heavy cutting compound, and I'm going to finish up with a Fine Lab A1000 finishing polish on a CCS polishing foam pad. Now this is single stage paint, so there is no clear coat, and the blue will be coming off on the pad. It's actually kind of neat. It shows you why the pad needs to be frequently cleaned. All that marring that we saw before is coming right off. I'll be measuring paint thickness as we go along, and the hood is averaging around 220 microns. Now the roof, it's quite a bit rougher than the hood. It's very dull, and I'm going to hit it with the DIY Detail wool pad with the Fine Lab A50, and then move to the foam pads and finish with the A1000. Some of these marks won't come out. The paint has been damaged by rock chips. Ultimately, this car needs a proper paint job. Unfortunately, buying the car sight unseen, my friend ended up with some mechanical repairs that he didn't anticipate. He spent a lot of money doing that, so the paint is a future project. I'm not going to wet sand and try to shoot for perfection. It's just not worth it. The paint is fragile. There are cracks and delamination at the edges. Some of the areas have blending work that's way too thin to sand or to even heavily polish. As I walked around the car, I decided the headlights could use some love too, so we're going to follow pretty much the same steps. I'm going to start out with Fine Lab's A500 medium cut on some light cutting pads, and then polishing things up with the A1000. Plastics usually cut quickly, so you don't need a lot of time to polish. The lenses here are glass, which obviously is very hard, so you're not going to get scratches out with basic polish. But overall, this does brighten up the headlights a bit, though they weren't that bad to begin with. The trunk, that's an absolute disaster. It's even duller than the roof. You can see gloss meter readings in the 30s and 40s. A modern clear-coated car with a brighter color like this should be closer to 90 or 100. We'll be using the DIY wool pad and the A50 heavy cut. This is going to take multiple passes, and I'm going to be careful to measure paint thickness in a grid. With these kind of cars that have paint that's been resprayed multiple times with blending work, you really got to be careful. While it's generally harder than people imagine to burn through a good modern paint job, it can be incredibly easy when the paint is old, defective, fragile. There are a range of potential defects: uneven layer thicknesses, prior repainting, prior blending. It's really important that if you're doing this for someone else, that you establish realistic expectations, talk about quality of the paint, and any prior work that the owner might be aware of. After a pass with the A1000 and a CCS polishing foam pad, we're in the high 70s on this panel for gloss readings. I'm real happy with that given where we started. I chose the clean 8-year coating by Pan the Organizer for the ceramic coating on this car. I've really been loving this coating, and I think my buddy will be happy with the results too. The product is just so easy to apply. It goes on smoothly and spreads well. I'm able to do these 2 large sections of the hood and then wipe up the coating once it's flashed. The wipe up is a dream on this coating. It's ridiculously easy. I'm going to use it on all the painted panels and the headlights. I think it's already starting to look great. Fine Lab recently sent me their black velvet tire sealant, which I'm going to use on the rubber bumpers as well as the tires. It seems to have a dye in it that seeps into the rubber. I'm using a pretty thick layer and making sure to level it off well. I like the depth it gives, and that once you set it, you can run your hand on it or a towel, and there's no transfer. Fine Lab also sent me their Plastic Black Ultra, which is similar. It stains and restores black plastic trim. This particular trim panel is actually pretty clean, but it will still look more uniform with this product. Now, they do tell you to only use it on black plastics, and I do think the bumper looks absolutely fantastic with these 2 products applied. For the wheels, the chrome, and the various metal trim, I'm going to use the Diamond ProTech Diamond Wheels coating, which is meant for wheels, but I'm hoping it works well on all the chrome too. It's usually hard to get a good long-term bond on metal like this, so we'll see how it holds up as my friend enjoys this car. And this applies very much like any normal coating, and once it flashes, it wipes up so easily. On the glass, I want to try out this brand new CarPro Go FX, which was released at SEMA this year. It's a film remover and a mild polish. I'm not expecting it to do much for these scratches in the windshield. You realistically need a cerium oxide cutting agent to polish this depth of scratching. To wipe the polish up, it's easiest to use a damp cloth. You can also use detail spray, or in this case, I'm using Adam's Glass Cleaner Aerosol, which I've just always loved. The surface left behind is very smooth and clean. I do like that. Of course, it didn't remove the scratches, which was expected. And now we're ready for a glass coating. And for that, I chose the Ethos Easy Peasy Glass, which is very simple to use. It's a very smooth application. You can immediately wipe it up. And just like the Easy Peasy paint coating, which I really love because of how easy it is, the glass version wipes up with no effort. I'm going to be testing a whole range of glass coatings shortly. I have some new equipment and a new test suite to do that. So do stay tuned for that. But this does wrap up the exterior work on the car. Inside, we find leather seats that are pretty dirty. I'm not sure when these were last cleaned, but I bet it was quite a long time ago. I'm going to use the Coke Chemi Green Star All-Purpose Cleaner diluted 1 to 10. I'm letting it soak in but not dry out and agitating it with this brush. After scrubbing for a while, I soaked a microfiber with Adam's Interior Detail Spray, and I'm just mopping up the seats. Removing the tape, we can see what a huge transformation we're making to the leather. It's incredible how well the Green Star worked here. I sent a picture of this to my friend and he was shocked how gross the seats were. I find this kind of transformation really fun to share because it's usually not obvious how far the color has shifted due to all the grime building up. To condition the leather, I'm going to use Coke Chemi's Leather Star. Now the bottle does say it's a deep cleaner, but I don't really understand that and I don't really consider it to be a cleaner. It's really a conditioner, and I've really enjoyed it in that capacity. You just prime an applicator really well with this stuff and then just spread it across the surface evenly. I like to go back for a second pass to level things out and then hit it with a terry cloth once it starts to dry, just to remove any excess. The carpets are a funky, smelly mess. There's some water intrusion that's happened. We found some holes in the floorboards, and there's just various staining going on. I'm going to be using the Svonic Sintra, which is a bactericidal cleaner. It's strong stuff and it should help mitigate the funk. I used it with a drill brush and the results are great. The carpet got some of the color back and the stains are now gone. I used the same stuff around some of the porous interior surfaces along with the Green Star that we used on the seats. And we are going to replace the floor mats with some new ones. And finally, here's the car on the afternoon my friend came to pick it up. I think it's such a huge improvement. He's really happy to see the results and he saw a bit of the work firsthand. He knows exactly how much time and effort went into this. The paint is still not perfect, but we always knew that it wasn't going to be. However, newly shiny chrome and dark plastics really help sell the overall look. I really like how the wheels turned out. Seeing all that color really sets the car apart from a lot of the boring modern designs. The trunk is now presentable, and it was definitely the worst paint on the car as far as dullness and oxidation. I'm really loving this china blue color. And out in the sunlight, the interior leather looks so much more presentable. The car actually looks clean and smells nice. When we put in some new floor mats and put the old ones in the trash bag, the smell was just, I'll just say it was unpleasant. I avoided using any heavy fragrances on the interior. My friend's really shooting for more of that leather, vintage, 80s car experience. I did get to drive the car for a bit the day before that my friend came to pick it up, and I took some stills out by a nearby lake. There's just something about that iconic Mercedes grille and those body lines that I absolutely love. From a few feet away, she's definitely sitting pretty. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, click like, and leave me a nice comment. And I really want to see you again in a future video.